everyone. Today, I will be talking about the potential use of straws as self-starting siphon as well as the forces or reasons which make the transfer of water works. For this topic, I will be referring to the bendy straws that we commonly use in fast food chain and in restaurants. These bendy straw can be made or turned into a self-starting siphon. This straw is preferred because they can be bent without impeding the flow of liquid through them. Around 3 straws, which were cut in proper length, can be joined together using a scotch tape to make the siphon. Once assembled, it can start the flow without the user having to squeeze, pump, or suck on a tube, which is the distinct benefit of it. Voila! It can now be used to move liquid all by itself. These could be very useful for a home aquarium, which is one of 1,000 scenarios in which you don't want to use a mouth-prime siphon. As presented in the article that I've read as well in the video that I've watched, this kind of siphon is an effective way of moving liquid from one container to another, as sucking on the tube can be unpleasant and even dangerous. Perhaps most of us are puzzled, and one of the questions that's probably circling our mind is, how does it work? The first time you witness or use a siphon, it may seem like magic, but it's simply the principles of science at work. A self-starting siphon takes advantage of the non-compressibility of water, the compressibility of air, and the surface tension of water. To understand further, let's digest the forces which make the siphons work. Because of a difference in pressure between the 2 open ends of the tube, the siphon pulls water out of a container. The pressure at a given depth below the surface of a liquid is equal to the atmospheric pressure at the surface of the water, plus the pressure exerted by the liquid, which is proportional to the depth beneath the surface. As observed, the short column produces less downward pressure compared to the long column. Therefore, the short column does not cancel the effect of atmospheric pressure as much as the long column. The total pressure at the open end of the long column is smaller than at the submerged end of the short column. This pressure difference causes the liquid to flow from high pressure to low pressure, and thus into the submerged end of the tube, up the column, over the peak, down the long column, and out the open end. Moreover, the self-starting siphon tube uses the properties of momentum and capillary action to initially pull water out of the container and initiate the siphoning process. When the siphon is submerged into the water flows into the submerged end because of a pressure difference due to the surrounding water. The water attempts to reach an equilibrium level by flowing through the looping tube to get to the same height as the surface of the water in the container. The bends in the tube prevent this from happening, so water continues to flow through the tube. The momentum of the flowing water, combined with the capillary action of the tube, is strong enough to allow the water to flow above the surface of the water in the container, over the peak in the loop, and down the open column. An example of capillary action is what happens inside a straw left in a cup of water. The force of adhesion which holds the water together and to the straw is a little stronger than gravity, so the water will rise inside the straw a little higher than the rest of the water. Consequently, once the water flows over the peak, the cohesiveness of the water pulls more water from the container along with it until water flows out of the open end of the tube and the siphoning process begins. Once the water flows out the open end, it is the pressure difference between the two ends that keeps the water flowing out of the beaker. When you say cohesion, it means a continuous chain of cohesive bonds must exist in the liquid. Some scientists refer to this as a chain model because you can think of the water like a chain being pulled through the tube instead of a liquid. When you begin to pull the chain through the tube and over the hump, gravity will take over and continue to pull the entire length of the chain through the tube. Most recently, scientists who have studied siphons have theorized that the key force in making siphon works is the gravity. When liquid is sucked up the tube and over the hump, the force gravity continues to pull the liquid through the tube. And this relies upon liquid cohesion, which I have mentioned a while ago. Such were the forces which make siphons work: the atmospheric pressure, capillary action, liquid cohesion, and gravity. They all work together to make the siphons work the way they do. Perhaps you can try it over your friend's drink, and in about a second, it will automatically start spilling at the outer end. Thank you for watching. Have a great day!